Hello, Stamper. Welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm France Martin, independent demonstrator with Stamping Up at frenchiestamps.com. Today it's another bendy card. I did a few in the past few months. I'm going to attach one at the end of this video here. So this one here, it's the inside that it's bendy. So it's a belly band around and open, and voila. See, when you pop that, it's just stand up. So this year it's Abigail Rose, the designer series paper. It's Abigail Rose. So if you do with a designer series paper, I strongly recommend that you like put a circle in the bendy part there. I would show you in a minute. See, I put the circle there. Another thing that I learned when I was doing this one, I had put the bendy here um, in very vanilla. You want to match that with the card base. I can place to that you can write your memo here, or you can add paper there also. The other one we're going to put paper to. You can always use the back to write to, but see when you pop that, so you can reinforce this maybe even a little bit more. But see how poof, it's just a fun card. So let's get started, and it closed very lovely. So what I say about reinforcing that, I think didn't reinforce this one enough, but see, it's easy. And after it's reinforced, it's going to pop right up, and see, it's just stand very pretty. So let's get started. This is very simple. If it's a card, a, a movement card that I would say it's simple, this is. You're going to start with just a piece of F a sheet of cardstock. So that measure 8.5 by 5.5. If you use white or vanilla, I strongly recommend that you use the heavy cardstock. Okay. So now you're going to score at 2.25. I'm sorry, back of the bus. 2 1/8. 4.25. 4.25 is just your center of your card. So you see, it's just a regular card right now. And then 6 3/8. 6 3/8, if you flip it, it's the 2 1/8 there. Okay. So again, it's 2 1/8, 4.25, and 6 3/8. When they're out the 8 count, you count every lines between your inch. That's got 8 little marks. So you want 3/8, you count 1 2 3. That means it's 3/8. And 1/8, it's the first one. Okay. I got a video just on the measurement. So now we got our card base ready. Now for the mechanism inside, this measure 5 inch long. It don't matter the width, because you can put a big width, because if you want to put something more just in the center, something stamp on, whatever, it's no limit. I did 1 inch, so 1 by 5, and then you're going to score F inch at each end. So you're going to score at F inch and 4.5. Okay, so again, this is 5 by 1. All measurement will be on my blog. Now for the little piece in the center, I use 1 inch by 1.5 score in the center of that. It's 3/4. That's about, you can go 1 by 1 score F inch, but this was giving me a nice size. So again, this is 1.5 long by 1, because I don't want it wider than my strip, and score at 3/4 right in F. So you want two little piece like this here. Now the belly band, I don't like to score my belly band, so we will do that in a minute. Okay, that is it. So you see, this really, it's just a card base, but then you score in the center. So 2 1/8 and 2 1/8. So the other one was not reinforced in the center. I want to make sure this one it's reinforced. So the center going to go there, and then each side go in. And we're going to reinforce that like any like 3D element or cards. The trick is to have a very crisp score to make it work. Okay. Now, this here, it's going to be our, well, let's do our card itself. So I use By the Bay um, designer series paper for this one. The other one, I'm not sure if I told you, it's the Abigail. And this, you're going to say, I don't see that pattern in the Abigail. The Abigail, I color it with stamping blends. Okay, so those little pieces here for each side measure um, 2 by 5 3/8. Now, if you want to have a layer, so then it's going to be 178 by 5 1/4. Don't worry about all the measurement, okay? It's all on my blog. I will have the measurement with a layer and without the layer. So just up on my blog, you get the direct link below and you will have all measurement. Now, when it's a very tiny, and I mean tiny, when we talk about 1/8 of an inch, I like to use the liquid glue. So I'm going to go ahead, oops, use the, you want to put the glue on the paper, not on your table. And the reason why I say liquid glue, it's much friendlier when, doesn't matter, when you work with tiny piece for a border. If it's you're not just right, you get the chance to move it, okay? So now we got that part done. So this one, I am not putting a layer. You have to be careful on the amount of layers because you get quite a bit, with the bendy. So you don't want it that it is too much that I'm looking for postage here. So right now, I don't think I exceed the thickness for the regular postage. Okay, so now that's the outside. We're going to open it up. And this one, and this is all part of the same paper, by the way. I'm going to put this inside. That one, that one. This is the same measurement. So it is 2 inch by 5 3/8 because it's just a very tiny little border. Okay. And this year you could go, if you say, well, I'm going to go without the eights, you pretty much have to do the eight because we score at 2 1/8 to have the center. After you learn those little lines, 1 2 3 all the way to 8 between each inch, you're going to find it very easy. Okay, and put this one there. This one's going to look a little bit different because we get each side with the paper here. And the reason why I decide to put this paper, it's light enough that you can write your memo on top of the designer series paper. That's the main reason I decide to do it. Now, we're going to bend this again. The trick is to have it very lovely. Now, first you're gonna see maybe I get still a little mark there. I erase it because I thought, oh, I want to know my center so I can put that in the center. You don't need to have the center because you get your line in the center and you just get a little bit on each side, really. So, really, you're gonna go in the center even if you don't want to, okay? So, and then for those things for the center, you just follow that line. So you don't need to make the mark of the center. Absolutely not. Okay, now this here, you want to make sure that you don't have glue oozing on the side because that's what make a thing. So now before we're going to go, I'm going to go ahead and I want to make sure this is reinforced here. You don't want to bend this too much that it fall in the center. So I'm keeping my finger there. Okay, so you see how that open, you see your bend there. That's how it works. Now to put your little piece, so the opening gonna get on the outside, not facing in, on the outside. So you're gonna put the glue here, and again, I recommend the liquid glue for this. So you see your center where you get your score. It's kind of hard to see with the reflection of the lights here. So remember, this will over there. You have to have your opening there. And then we're going to come here. I like to flip this to right on my, to work on my right hand side here. Here we go. Oops, 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 stay there. Okay, now, like I said, for this one here, because this is designer series paper here, okay? So you want something solid. So what I done, I use a circle and put it there so I get something to conquer it. When you use your circle, I just put glue on one side. We're going to do the same thing. This I cut with the designer series paper with the circle layering die. We're going to mount this together. And I thought, oh, I'm going to stamp directly on my paper. Well, you know what? Now they kind of look good. To be honest, they kind of look good. First, when I was coloring them, I was like, no. Well, I decided to stamp them in Night of Navy, and I colored them a little bit. Stamp them with black and color them. I used the die cut to match that, to cut it. I had too much white. And also I cut the feet because I already get the feet there. And so this way I get less white around the feet. It's just a preference, okay? So let me get glue dots. Let me make sure I get the right one at the right place. So that's a way that you can get your birds a little bit more 3D. I'm going to get off a little bit, offset it a bit here. See? And then you get your legs there. I just chop them off. The die gonna cut them. This is by the bay. Well, not by the bay. What is it? Seaside Bay. By the bay, it's the designer series paper. Then in the designer series paper, it coordinate with the die. So this is not stamps, it's from the paper, okay? And I'm going to put that over here. But first, before I know how far I can go, we need to know the center of our card, the card, okay? So this here, I'm just going to put it on one side. So it's going to pop it more. So with that being said, that don't matter. I can use, you can use Tombow here, or you can use um, seal or glue dots. You just want to make sure you're not going on the side. Now I'm going to come here and put that right in the center here. Et voila. Okay, now let's see. See, it popped very lovely. I see something here. Maybe I had a little glue. Here we go. You see how I could put some on the other one, but for some reason it wants to pull. So that's why I put just on one side, and see how lovely it popped. Now, when you put any element, like I said, you can build a bouquet of flowers if you want. You want to make sure you don't pass the side. When it's flat, you don't want to pass the side. And even when it open, you don't want to put too much, really about, I would say, keep a finger on each side, because when you want to pop it, you don't want it to hit too much on the side. Now I'm going to take this. See, if I would have glued that, see my tail, it won't work. So I'm going to put that over here, and he's going to cover the baby a bit, but that's okay because I'm going to raise him up. So he won't walk the baby. It's just he's in front. I should say she's in front of the baby. I'm going to put that right. Oh, wait a minute. So put it more to by the face, because that's where you want to cut glue that. You don't want nothing to touch the card. It have to be on the circle there. Here we are. Perfect. See, it go perfect. Now, just this is very simple thing. I got my light smoky slate in my blend, and I just need to put an anchor under the feet. Just that it showed that it's something that it's sit there. See, it's just like a little bit of maybe. And while you get that, another thing you can do is, let me get my black. No, we're going to use balmy blue because really it won't, it's just going to leave watermark, right? See the little feet. That just give a little bit of character. And that don't change a lot, but for me it does. It look like it's sitting on something. So you see, very simple but so elegant. So you get place to write something, you can add more. Now for the belly band, I get 10 inch. I don't like to pre-score. For me, every time I pre-score a belly band, it's too tight or way too loose. I just put it about each side, about the same. I said about because I don't measure. Going to lift this one, and I'm going to fold this one that it's straight. Okay, now that I know this one is straight, I'm going to push this. I'm going to put it here. And you want to put it tight, but not too tight. You want it that it move, okay? So now I can glue this, can put, really, I like to use Tombow again. So I put on the inside here and facing forward here. So then you get both in. We're going to close this. Here we go. Now you see it move. Now I use the painted label. I didn't use that for, I don't know if how many time I use it. It's quite a few years. And when Glenda was visiting with Ollie, they used that a lot, and I fell in love with it, and then I forgot about it again. Well, long story short, it's on my desk. So be on the lookout. I'm going to be using that a lot. I love the way that you get just like those little, I don't know, little string, and then it's stitched too. So you know what? I like to put my. We're gonna put the happy birthday. That I use the stitch. You can use any one for the center here. Et voila. And now we're gonna put that right in the center. See how simple it is, but at the same time, it's such a fun card. You can decorate it more if you want. So it's just pull out, and when you open it up, voila. Is that fun? It really does the band. So you see, this one got the side. I think I like with the side. This one I stamp on the side. I think I'm gonna need to, maybe I'm gonna add, when I'm done the video, I'm gonna add two strip of tiny little strip of designer series paper. I feel it's something missing here. But here it is, my friend. Very simple. I will have all measurement on my blog and all the product that I use. You can shop 24/7 if you're in the US. Thank you so much. And till next time, happy stamping, my friend. Bye bye for now.